Here's the mirror that we all hate to look at. Your image is our image, because sometimes our image is not very good if we have been covered in chocolate. So this is where most people enter the Culinary Institute of America, and it's where I'm going to start my tour today. I have amazing views of the Catskill Mountains down the Hudson River. This is where most people enter. This is Roth Hall. On your left is our student bookstore, which as you can see is slightly different than most student bookstores. And this is where I work. It is the Craig Claiborne Hospitality Center. This is where the tour office is based off of and where my 3 second mothers are. Here's the front of the house, the Apple Pie Bakery Cafe. And there's my roommate, Evan. But my favorite part about apple pie is over here. The entire ceiling is covered in corks. It's over 16,000 corks, and that's because before this was the Apple Pie Bakery, was formerly the wines classroom. So they pay tribute to that also with a brief history of wines on the back wall. Here we are in the Baking and Pastry Building. Today is actually tart day. You can see these students are working on their tarts, and it's a 2-day long thing, and then they actually have a tart practical. And then if we come down here, we'll see one of the scariest things in the whole school. This is the service elevator, and this elevator is going to go down to the storeroom. Okay, we're going down. We're almost out. Thank God. That was scary. I love the storeroom. In here is a fruit refrigerator as well as mushrooms. We've got big portobellos. When we're in our product knowledge class here on campus, we like to come down here to study for our tests. So we actually can see all the produce firsthand. Hello. I'm sorry. I know, I look like I'm crazy and talking to myself. So. And then here's all the different herbs. That was one of the hardest parts to study for our test. For me, studying the herbs wasn't as difficult actually, because my mom used to send me out into the garden to get herbs, and every time I brought back the wrong one, she would get more and more mad. So I knew my herbs pretty well. The cheese fridge. It smells very potent in here. We work with a lot of different kinds. We're pretty lucky. Each classroom puts in their order, and then this is what the orders look like when they're ready to go. They've got the classroom on it, and then a list of things that the classroom orders. Oh, chocolate, 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 chocolate. The not fun stuff to lift. My first bakery job ever, they wouldn't let me lift the flour because I wasn't 18 yet, and so they didn't want me to hurt myself. So I had to practice to be able to be sure that I could lift the flour, and how I finally practiced was I lifted my niece a lot, and when I knew I could lift her at a certain point, I knew I was ready to lift the bag of flour. And it was actually a lot easier to lift the bag of flour because it didn't move and flail about in my arms like she did. Legend has it that the CIA has a resident ghost named Father Murphy. When he's not down in the storeroom or in the mausoleum, Father Murphy has been sighted up here in the attic. He was one of the more well-known monks at the St. Andrews on the Hudson Seminary, though I personally have never seen him. That is the tour of the school. It's not quite what I do every day at work. I showed you a few other places that we're not supposed to show. But I hope you enjoyed my look at the Culinary Institute.